Hello, dear ones. Welcome. Quick reminder that this will be the last broadcast of this year. We'll be taking a few weeks for holiday, and then next year we'll be broadcasting at different days at different times. So watch your YouTube feed, and you'll see the premiere a notification when the next video is coming up. I was coaching somebody, a woman who had been fired from her job. And she didn't really like it, and she didn't really get along with her manager. And it was no surprise to me, at least, that she got fired. I said, well, good for you. And I said, what would you like to do? And she had a whole different profession that she wanted to do. And I said to her, the reason that you didn't stay in that job was that you were not a match to it. And so there's a principle here, and it's around the law of attraction. And it says that people who are a match to things stick with them, and if you're not a match, you don't. And if you don't stick with it, it's a really good thing because you didn't belong there in the first place. I coached another fellow a while back, and he'd been fired from 5 accounting jobs. And I asked him a question that was obvious to me, but not to him. I said, well, do you really want to be an accountant? And he said, no, I don't like it at all. And I asked him, what would you rather do? He said, I'm into photography, man. I want to get outside and photograph wildlife. And it was no accident that he was fired from accounting because he didn't belong there. You see, so you can't force a match where there is none. And the law of attraction is always sorting out who belongs where. The great yogi Yogananda said, what comes of itself, let it come, and what goes of itself, let it go. And if you don't belong somewhere, you're going to get spit out, so to speak. Pardon the euphemism. But it's a good thing. So you might want to consider right now, am I participating in something where I don't think I belong? And if I were to be honest about where I belonged, what would I be doing differently? And I tell you, if you're not honest about this, the universe will take care of the details. The job will end or the relationship will end. And so let's apply this to relationships. The law of attraction is like Velcro. And when you have a match, you have a configuration of hooks, and the other person or the job has configuration of hooks. And when they're together, they come together. And as long as your hooks match each other and you hook together, then it's a happening thing. If the hooks don't match and you try to make them match, it's not going to work. It's just not going to stick. But when something is right, it happens. I love this philosophy. In fact, a friend of mine used to pray to the realm of right action, not to it, but about it. And he would say, if he had a job offer or a move or a date or any choice, he would say, okay, now place this situation, this potential property sale or potential mate, potential move, I place this in the realm of right action. It's a beautiful image. I kind of envision this golden realm where everything that happens in it is right for everyone involved. So when this fellow surrendered all of his dealings to the realm of right action, only right action could follow because that was his intention. And the realm of right actions works. It's a universal principle. Some people call it divine order. It's the same thing. So if you're not sure what to do, or something you're doing is not working, it's a really good method to say, okay, now put this in the realm of right action. Right action, you take care of this. And I won't try to micromanage or boss the details. I trust that the right action, the wise mind of right action can handle this. Now, conversely, on the other side of the coin, we might say, if something is right for you, the universe is going to keep setting it up for you to do that. So it's one principle is, okay, maybe it's time to leave something, but another principle is that maybe it's time to have something happen. So when I was in college, I dated a lovely young lady named Ellen, and we dated for a little while and then we drifted apart. And then one day I got a call from her on my voicemail from her roommate saying Ellen would like you to call her. So I called Ellen and we struck up a conversation and we started seeing each other again. And we actually went on to be with each other for 4 years. It was a very nice relationship at that time in my life. And soon after we got back together, I said, why did you ask your roommate to ask me to call you? She said, I didn't do that. She said, my roommate was playing Cupid. And in that particular moment, it worked. So our relationship was not over. And there was more for us to do. And the law of attraction, combined with the world of right action, put us back together for that period of time when it was right for us to be together. Now, you've heard me say, perhaps in previous broadcasts, that everything has a reason, a season, or a lifetime, all relationships. Sometimes you converge with somebody just for a momentary intersection. Sometimes it's a 3 or 5 or 10 or 20-year relationship or marriage or job, and sometimes these things last for a lifetime. But what you can be sure of is that when your soul has an intention for something to happen, all of the right people and mechanics and situations, events will line up just perfectly. And this takes the law of attraction even deeper than, well, let me visualize that house, or let me visualize that vision board, and all those things will come to me. That's cool, that works. But I want to suggest that you have soul contracts with various people and events and jobs and places, and there's no way it's not going to happen unless you actively resist it. You could do that too. That all the right people and things will come to you. Now, many years ago, I wrote this little book called Are You as Happy as Your Dog? And I received a letter from a Japanese American lady saying, would you like me to help this get published in Japan? Well, sure. And little did I know that she had no relationship with any publishers in Japan, but she sent it to one. They said, yeah, we like this, so we'll publish it. And it became popular. And then there's a lady who ran a motivational organization in Japan that got a hold of the book. She said, oh, I like this. Let me see if we can get Alan to come over here. So she emailed me and we said, okay, we'll make a date to meet for a business meeting. And Dee and I just happened to be going through Japan to go to Bali that year, just a few months later. So we went and everything hooked up. And she hired me to do programs. And they were huge successes. And they've gone on for many years now. I just love my relationships working with Japanese students. Now, I swear to you, not one moment in my life did I ever think about working in Japan. I knew nothing about it. But this unfolded as a soul destiny. And so when I was true to myself by writing that little book, just for fun, about what I learned from my dog, and when this Japanese American lady was true to herself, well, it would be fun to see if we can get Alan's book published. And the publisher liked it, and the promoter liked it. So all these things were the law of attraction, the law of right action, lining up for the greatest benefit to the most people. So my point is you can relax. And you don't have to sit there and visualize and stomp and pray and demand and go. You can just say, okay, here's what I would love to do. This would be fun for me to do. I want to hang out with this person. I want to go to that place. I want to work in this kind of career. That would just be fun. And when you do that, you set in motion all kinds of synchronicities and all kinds of miracles and meetings and events and encounters and serendipities that go so far beyond anything you could conjure if you were attempting to manipulate stuff. And I want to suggest to you that there really are right people for you in your life. Now, I coach a lot of people who have discovered the spiritual path, and they say, oh, I feel so lonely because my family doesn't understand me, or I don't have many friends that I could talk to about this kind of stuff. There's no community. And I say, just wait. I say, if you're true to your calling, and you like to meditate or do yoga, Course in Miracles, whatever you like to do, just do it. And everybody who matches that will recognize you. You understand? It's kind of like, remember the old Star Trek TV show? They had this thing called the hailing frequency. Lieutenant Uhura, if they were trying to contact some alien civilization, she would send out what's called the hailing frequency. It's kind of like a fax machine handshake where you put out a vibration. And if there's the civilization, if they were on the same wavelength, they would recognize the hailing frequency and they would get together. And everything we're doing in life is sending out a hailing frequency saying, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. This is where I'm headed. This is my vision. Even if you never said one word to that effect, the words can help, but if you just showed up and were yourself authentically and just did what you love doing, you would be putting out hailing frequencies like crazy, and all the people who matched everything you stand for would show up with the least effort on your part. And this is the best way to attract a mate. I mean, a lot of people go into online dating services, which is fine, or they have people set them up, which is fine. But really, when you're ripe and ready to meet somebody, you're going to be putting out a vibe, I'm right and ready, and somebody else who's right and ready will show up. It'll happen. If you're sort of right and ready, you will meet somebody else who is sort of right and ready. You'll have a sort of relationship. We've all had those, haven't we? And so everybody you're meeting is mirroring, by virtue of the law of attraction, the hailing frequency or the vibration or the emanation that you're putting out. And you've heard me quote Nikola Tesla, who said that if you want to understand how the universe works, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibrations. In my mind, he was the greatest scientist of all time. And he understood that everything is frequency and vibration. And when you understand that too, and you recognize that the real frequency and vibration emanates from inside you, it's a little bit about the words, but mostly about the energy. And the best thing you can do is to get clear on what you want, because the moment you're clear, it'll show up, or very soon, or at the right time. If you're not getting clear results, it's because you're not putting out a clear energy or intention. So the law of attraction is always working on our behalf. It's a universal law. It's not a sometimes it maybe works law. It's like it always works law. It's solid. People make rules, but God makes laws. You can break rules, but you can't break laws. And so wouldn't it be wonderful if you and I sat and we just said, okay, this is my intention for a relationship. And let me drop into the feeling that I would like to have with a perfect partner. Wow, that feels good. And I see myself dining with this person, talking with this person, meditating, walking on the beach. Let me just get into the frequency of that. Now, once you start designating the person, you're getting into trouble, because it may or may not be that person. But when you designate an energy, that's when things start to happen. And you also have to be extremely honest about where your joy lives, so that accountant who did not want to be an accountant, who was really a photographer in his soul, you understand? He couldn't last in any of those accounting jobs because his soul was a photographer. And photographers don't do well in accounting jobs, and accountants don't do well in photography jobs. And the moment he said, he admitted, due to my prompting, that I really would love to do photography, doors started to open for him because he was suddenly in alignment with himself. And if you listen to Abraham Hicks, Abraham talks a lot about alignment. So if your life is not really functioning smoothly, you're probably out of alignment. And the best question you could ask yourself is, what would I need to do to get into alignment with my right relationship, my right job, my right body, my right living place? And you pray, you say, Great Spirit, I am now open to be aligned with everyone and everything that truly matches me. Bring it on. I'm tired of having stuff that half matches me or doesn't match me. I want the life I came to live, not the one, not the life I'm trying to stuff myself into. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. We've all had jigsaw puzzles. So if you have a piece that you think might fit in that little opening, and it sort of does, but sort of doesn't, and you still keep trying to squish it in there, and you wish it would be. It's your hope that piece would fit, but it doesn't. And then what happens is the ends get frayed, and if you jam it in there, the picture doesn't quite match, sort of, but not really. And you finally admit, okay, that's not the right piece. Well, for that spot. And so a lot of us have been trying to jam the right piece in the wrong spot. And then we say, well, there's something wrong with me because I don't fit. I don't fit in with society. I don't fit with my family. I don't fit with my peers. I don't fit with my business. Yeah. And you feel horrible. But it's a good thing that you don't fit there because there's another place you do fit. So quit trying to jam yourself into a jigsaw puzzle that doesn't match you. There's another space at the other side of the puzzle where you fit perfectly. And you not only fit perfectly, but you complete the puzzle for that section of the puzzle at least. And so the universe has everything set up for us to succeed and manifest and love and be happy and have right relationships and right prosperity and right health. This is how the universe was set up. A Course in Miracles tells us God's will for me is perfect happiness. That's one of the lessons. God's will for me is perfect happiness. It doesn't say God's will for me is to put up with a half relationship or to put up with a half job or to put up with a half health. No, none of those equal happiness. So when you can really drop into your deservingness to have all these good things, then you're in alignment with the will of God and you're in alignment with your own will, and miracles happen. The right people show up. How many times can I say it? How many different ways? It's just the way the universe works. And you have to really love yourself to be honest about who you are and where you belong. So as we approach this new year, let us hold together the vision. If you want to hold with me for a moment, close your eyes. As I move ahead in my life, and even if you're watching it another time besides the new year, that's fine. As I move ahead in my life, my intention, my vision, my purpose is to be 100% who I am so I can attract 100% of what I deserve. And I now consciously, purposefully release the people and situations and events and things that do not belong to me. I trust that if I let go of what is not mine, I make space for the universe to deliver what is mine. So Great Spirit, Great God of all that is, whoever you want to talk to, I now open to receive that which matches my highest destiny. I humbly allow the law of attraction to take care of all the details. I do not need to struggle, worry, or sweat. I can simply cruise through my life, flow down the river of my life, and everything perfect and wonderful will come to me at every perfectly wonderful time. I wish you and yours a blessed holiday, a wonderful and amazing new year. We're stepping into the best year ever. And I know and rejoice that Great Spirit is sending you everything that belongs to you, guided by love, guided by joy, and that which fulfills your soul at the deepest level giving you the most blessed, exciting, wonderful, beautiful life you can imagine. And if you want to say with me out loud, please, and so it is, and so it is. Thank you for sharing this with me.